Alright, so this is following a bug report that was just put on the DLU internal bug reports channel by Gaming Spirit. Basically, this bug report mentions using the Samurai's Ronin Rush ability to get launched into the air. Now, if I'm honest, suspicious of this because things that, like, well, it was described as a ricochet, which implies that there was some physics and that, yeah, there was some, like, collision or you still had gravity whilst you were moving, and I've never seen anything like that. I don't know it's impossible, but, like, if you take a look at me jumping into the ground here, actually, let me, could even be a fancy boy and turn desktop audio on. There we are. Oh, and that means I have to mute Discord as well. There we are. Yeah, so basically, if you hit the ground, more or less, in LU, you do not bounce. You can't bounce off of something, really, in LU. That's not a thing the physics lets you do. And so ricocheting sounds really, really odd to me. But what I didn't realise, so the first thing which interests me about this is that the Ronin Rush ability, I was fairly certain I'd gone through and I'd looked at almost everything which had an air velocity thing, or maybe I only looked at things that had like forward velocity or something. But I think I was because I originally was trying when I came across the spring shoes, I was originally trying to find things that did height gain, and I think I was literally just looking for upwards velocity. I could have gone for trying to do something clever with looking for upwards velocity and time delay, but like there's no real point given that nothing's gonna like indefinitely make you fly upwards. So let me just find the ID, find the object ID for this. Okay, there we are. So here's the thing which, so yeah, firstly, I'm really pleased this got mentioned. Well, I actually don't have, I need to wear extra stuff so I have enough imagination to use this ability because it's 9 imagination. I think anyway. Okay. So note whilst I was in the air, I was moving more or less straight. So I'm gonna take a look at the skill tree now. So these skill trees are viewable in LU Explorer. So basically what happens is, to begin with, you get stunned for a duration of 1 second. During that time you can't do anything. You then have an air movement, which does it turn off gravity? Yeah, so it turns off gravity on your character and moves you upwards with a Y velocity of 15. Or yeah, velocity of 15. To put it in context, I believe spring shoes is 25. You then have a delay, I'm assuming, yeah. Okay, so yeah, you move upwards for 0.15 seconds, so not very long. You then, I think that's right anyway. This is literally my first time looking at it. You then temporarily, this says it just turns off everything, but you do move forwards. That's a little bit odd. So the first one, Y velocity 15, that makes sense. The second thing, there's an attack delay. It plays an effect, which will just be the character animation. There's an air movement, which doesn't have any horizontal velocity, which seems really odd, given that we definitely do here. So let's... Yeah, so you don't get very high up. What is it that makes you move forward? Maybe there could be something here, because I can't see, looking at the skill tree, what it is that makes you move forward, and something weird happens at the peak of that attack. Like, the character moves around a little strangely. It could just be animations that are doing that. But, like, you see I kind of move up. It almost seems like I bounce there. So, okay, so something weird there. I don't know exactly what's happening. I assumed there was just going to be a pause. Oh, okay. No, I'm entirely wrong. Okay, so, yeah, okay. So that second bit where you're up in the air for a second, so you have 0.15 seconds of moving upwards at a speed of 15. You have 0.15 seconds of remaining at a constant height. And you then have... so it's 0.15 seconds, and then another air movement thing gets called, which sets your Y velocity to -5, which is going down, but not very much, and your Z velocity to 65, which is us moving forwards. That has a timeout in milliseconds of 700 milliseconds, which means there is no way... that's not quite true. There's almost no way of doing a spring shoes type cancel with that. I suspect... if you were really, really, like, insanely precise, maybe you could. I'm gonna... Okay, so you can use that to... That is potentially useful, so you can use that to stall out in midair. Which is helpful. So the game still doesn't recognise that you're not on the ground. But you... So maybe you could use that to help stall if you were in the middle of a combo with spring shoes, I don't know. But yeah, then you have... So yeah, you've got the air movement. There's then an area of effect attack. And then there's... Seems to be... yeah, there's a... And then, yeah, assuming it works, which, like, everything does, you get simultaneously... two duration things and two stuns. Now I'm gonna guess that these stuns, yeah, they are not, unlike most stuns you see in the skill tree. The vast majority of stuns will have the stun caster flag set to 1, and so they'll stun you. Only one of these does. And that's the shorter one. Not certain. I'm not seeing it being my character being stunned for 0.75 seconds, which is what that suggests should be happening. Suggests that for 0.75 seconds I shouldn't be able to attack. I definitely am able to attack. But yeah, anyway, the suggestion is that somehow, and I have literally no idea how it would be possible, you're able to collide with things and somehow ricochet upwards. The information I have on this is, well, actually, let me get up the bug report. Where is this? Yeah, if I Ronin rush into a large enemy like a Stromling mech or Spiderling at the right timing after getting hit by another enemy, I will ricochet high up into the sky. I don't have any footage of this glitch, so I don't have very much to work off of here. It's large enemy, like a mech, and after being hit by something else. I'm wondering which the best world to go to is. I'm just going to go to the bit before the entrance to the spider cave. That seems like a good place to find things that can attack me without having AI on. Right, so yeah, this is... I'm trying to work out... Oh! What if Oh, okay, okay. Here's an idea. What if somehow... What if somehow Gaming Spirit was hit whilst moving and that cancelled the attack? Because it is... So it... Oh, server crash. Because it is a thing in LU. It is a thing in LU to get your character... To get your character knocked out of skills. So basically what happens is, like... For like, oh, oops, goes off. So yeah, what can happen quite easily in LU is you'll be doing an attack, and whilst you're doing an attack, something else attacks you, and that attack temporarily stuns you. And perhaps if you were, say, in the process of spawning something in, so say you were a summoner, you're about to spawn in or trying to spawn in a scratch, and you get hit midway through it, there's a possibility that it will cancel that skill. The only thing that I could see, like Gaming Spirit describes this as like sending them, basically it sounds like sending them flying. The only thing I can think of that would do that is if, well, the only thing that springs to mind is some equivalent to the spring shoot glitch. I don't know how long the spring shoe thing actually sends you moving for. But yeah, what if instead of attacking to cancel the spring shoes, you instead got hit? I had thought about this in the past, but would this work? Because so spring shoes, I think when used normally, I'm just gonna give this a go. I think when used normally, there should be a delay. There should be a... Oh no, yeah, I think on landing, there might be a delay when the player is stunned. It's typically standard in LU to stun the player right after they've done an attack. Actually, in fact, I know this. I don't even need to test for the spring shoots. I'm going to, but all I need to is demonstrate that something that stuns you knocks you out of your current skill tree, and I can show that because I can do this. That was really bad because as hitting 4, the way my hands were on the keyboard, I hit my finger, which hits the Alt button. But let's do that again. I mucked. Oh, I know why I mucked that up. So it wasn't in the air. I think actually. So I'm also no. Actually, I don't. I'm not certain. I do know. Okay, so my comment was going to be the fact that you weren't stunned at the end of... that there is a stun event that should be called at the end of this Ronin Rush, but that I'm still able to attack. However, that doesn't quite work. Because... like, there's no attack that is cancelling me out of that, because I haven't attacked by that point, by the point I should be stunned. What does the stun do? The stuns caster. Can't attack, can't equip, can't interact, can't move, can't turn. And it's, yeah, and it's acting on us. That doesn't feel like it's happening here. and this won't be a Century, and this won't be a Uchu only thing, and that's no longer Century. It's also interesting, depending on when I try attacking, that it might not let me get into an attack sequence. It might just let me do one attack. I'm not certain what's going on, so I'm gonna here really quickly spam. Yeah, and if I really quickly spam, it gets me into the attack. It seems like if I spend too much time in the air, the game realizes I'm not in the air, and so puts me into normal attack. But that's somewhat irrelevant to this glitch. What is odd is, yeah, the fact that I'm not being targeted by this stun at the end, it would appear. What does the interrupt do? Interrupts behavior ID 8282. Alright, no, that just is its own ID. Oh, okay, I think we are... Yeah. Okay, so the interrupt ID is basically saying interrupt something else's skill. And... yeah, what that interrupt does is... well, this is the interesting bit. It interrupts attacks, it interrupts blocks, it interrupts charges. For starters, I'm not actually certain I know anything now that... like, I don't think spiderlings or anything like that internally actually have a charge up. And I can't think of any enemy that blocks your attacks. I guess the bone beetle would have done. But yeah, so the challenge is trying to work out what kind of glitch we might be expecting here. Or how we might be expecting to trigger it. And I just need to... yeah, okay. So, yeah, I just took a look back at it. Okay, so there, right, I got... okay, so that was interesting. That seems to trigger the player having... I didn't actually check on the spring shoes. Wait a second. This might be worth looking into quickly. What happens at the end of using the spring shoes? You get an interrupt, which interrupts your target. It doesn't interrupt you, I'm assuming, by the looks of that. You get a stun that is applied to the target. So at the end of a spring shoe attack, okay, you do get stunned. There are certain stuns that seem not to be happening, if I'm honest, because I don't normally, or maybe it's just a case if you're spamming attack or something, but like the stun at the end of spring shoes and the stun at the end of, I guess, spring shoes, you typically don't wait until it gets to the end. So maybe I am getting stunned there and I just literally never noticed because I never wait that long. So let's give that a go. Let's do what am I going to do? Wait until I hit. Oh, I attacked early. I forget how long spring shoes actually go on for. So I probably want to be higher up. And I'm going to give this one attempt, because if I can get it, it'll be cool. Wow. Had it the first time. I'm not counting that as an attempt, was I? Okay, that is an attempt. Don't need anything else. Just going to get myself some height. For what it's worth, it is possible to get up here without flying. Don't think I've posted it on this channel. It's an unlisted video on the main channel. There you are, Zale. Be proud of me. I remembered I can toggle it. Okay, so. Hey, is that phi? I know the first 3 digits of phi. No, it's not even the first 3 digits of phi. They are all the same numbers as those which appear. But, yeah, let's pretend I didn't just muck up my numbers that badly. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to fly until it cancels. And I can attack afterwards. So I'm not certain what it is that stun is actually doing, but it seems in neither the case of the Ronin Rush or the Spring Shoes, it actually does stun you. So, don't know what to make of that, but there's no difference for now. So, what in the skill tree could get us knocked upwards? I really wish I had more information to go off of and trying to replicate this. But in fairness, at least I know the item. Okay, so yeah, air movement. We've got no matter what, whether we hit the ground, whether we attack, whether we hit an enemy, something like anything like that, or whether we time out, we always do the same thing, which is the area of effect, doing a basic attack, and it does some sort of stun to the enemy and not to us. So, yeah, I guess the real question is, what happens when an interrupt gets played on our character? When we're in the middle of one of these things. So would it... There are a limited number of things that you really could do. Okay, so the specific thing was get attacked by an enemy, which is going to occur. And wow, that did nothing. I should also... Okay. I love how instinctively I'm just fighting things off where now I actually need them. Did you notice that, though? You may not have done. I don't know, but it was somewhat obvious. For me, the second that thing spawned, I wasn't able to... There we were again. Did you see that? Yeah, I'm wondering... So the other thing that sprang to mind with this was it could be related to this. To getting knocked up like that. What if that happened when you had your gravity turned off? Because the thing is... The effects don't put you in a line. So yeah, my first issue is I have no idea where to find stronging mechs attacks. I don't know. I haven't really spent any time looking into finding enemies' attacks. Okay, I've received... yeah, let's go Crooks, I think. Is that Crooks or Tower? I think this is Crooks. Okay, so I've received a little bit more information from MasterTemple, who says, yeah, Ronin rushing a dragon sends you flying upwards. It could be that it's DLU only, in which case I'll have issues pulling it off here for obvious reasons. If that's the case, I will If it is the case it's DLU only, then I can... Actually, no, it won't be too bad. I was going to really complain and say I could grind a character up to rank 3 on DLU. But I wouldn't have to. Oh! Didn't even intend to demonstrate that, but that's a perfect example of the projectile physics glitch. Or I don't even know if it's a glitch. That might be intended. Let me put a time... Okay, 25 minutes in. That happened, roughly. Do I have anywhere to write that notepad document? Okay. 25 minutes. Alright. Wow, that was fun. Okay. So, Ronin rush into a dragon. I need more health first. Imagination has persisted. Health is not. Uncertain why it only knocked me up that one point, not the other. I wonder if that's something to do with the timeout. Okay. Okay, try Ronin rush into a dragon, you get knocked upwards. Did not observe at that time. Let's try some different things. It could be DLU only, in which case, bit of an issue. And my imagination's gone back down. Okay, wait a sec. Uncertain, but okay, and those aren't actually equipped, even though they appear to be. Okay, this is actually... So I don't know if this is related to the glitch that was mentioned, but have a look at the... I know what's happening. Okay. I wonder if you can do the same thing with spring shoes. Doesn't look like it. Give it a go. No. Just this. Interesting. Okay. See if you can spot it. I'm gonna try and make it as obvious as possible. There you are. For some reason, and I bet I can manipulate this. If I time it right, no, maybe not. But for some reason, well, I know why. So, okay, there's a thing as part of this, which is a change orientation command, and this orients your character like when you're like first aiming at the thing, it sets your orientation. I don't know why, but it seems so. Yeah, this happens for both spring shoes and for the Ronin rush. Happens at about the same time for both of them, but let's just see. Because there is also somewhere I want to say there's a relative. It's a question of whether or not you're a relative to your current angle. The motion. No, I guess it always is. But yeah, what? I can't see anything obvious. Oh no! No. Okay, there's a flag. Yes, there's a flag that is set to true with the Ronin rush attack that is set to false with the spring shoes, and that is the go-to target flag. I'm still not having... Wait a second, what is this? Huh, I hadn't noticed. So I know this isn't therein. I know this isn't actually live accurate, but I didn't realise you could actually... the last time I looked at that, I didn't realise you could even go across from here. Okay. So that's the centre of this glitch. the fact that go-to target is set to true, and therefore if your target is upwards, you will move upwards. That feels abusable. I don't know. Yeah, smash on Uchi. That feels like heavily abusable, because that doesn't... require... all that requires is that there is a smashable somewhere above you. Like, in theory. I don't know what range it would let you target, but... Would it, for instance, orient me towards this smashable, if I tried? No. Can't type. Seems like it did, but hard to know. But for perhaps a better test, let's give this a go. Okay, so it didn't. There are a couple of reasons why that might be. If I had to guess, though, we're talking a question of hitboxes. So it looks for something in front of you, sees whether or not there is something in front of you, and then it moves towards it. However, it moves in the direction of the center of the hitbox, is my guess. Which means wouldn't work with smashables, but only work for things that A, you can attack, and that B, have large extended hitboxes, which is quite limited in LU. I'm trying to think of other stuff where this would be applicable aside from dragons. But also, we haven't yet seen the being launched upwards. I don't think, unless this is it, but that seems like a little bit of a strong thing for Yeet. Also, I had 8 health there. Maybe I didn't, just... But yeah, that is the core of this glitch. I do have yet to see a way of turning it to my advantage. So I guess the second thing is being damaged whilst you do it. So in theory, if my understanding of this is correct, I should be able to do it with any enemy. And hopefully ground pound attack will work. It's been a long time since I've played Uchi, so I don't remember everything which does. Okay, so I'm guessing no to ground pounding. Could I just get hit by this guy's fireball right as I... Oh, okay, so the rock works. Okay, that I wasn't really paying any attention, just pressed it. That was interesting. Okay. Okay, 2 possible sources of this bug. So what just happened there was, yeah, as you would have noticed, basically I just stopped moving. Now, there are two reasons that might have happened. I'm not certain which one it is. Either A, I got hit midway through the... So, yeah, two things the projectile could have done. One, it could have spawned like a thing that I couldn't move through. It could have spawned a solid physics object. We saw earlier that's a thing it can do. Projectiles can do in this game, and in fact they all do, to my knowledge anyway. Don't know about player spawned ones. And it's a bit of an open question for me at the moment as to whether or not you could get a player spawned projectile to hit an enemy, and whether or not that spawns in physics in the same way these do. Or whether or not the physics spawned in for someone else. Spawned in for one player, spawns in for all. But anyway, so there's a possibility that I hit there and triggered the physics, and that stops me moving forwards. There's a second possibility that it was being attacked that triggered that, and I got knocked out of the sequence. I got knocked out of the skill tree I was in. Got to be a little bit sneaky if I want to work out which it is. That's doable. Ooh! Oh no, I don't think that was actually as interesting as it looked. I think that was just me getting hit by that one attack slightly after. Maybe that was what has been discussed, I don't know. Yeah, and the issue for the clever thing I was thinking about doing, I was thinking of like aiming over to one side. Yeah, aiming over here and seeing whether or not I hit it, but of course I can't do that because... Okay, what if I aim at Rumorg whilst being hit with a fireball? Help if I didn't. I pressed the wrong button. It's bad. But yeah, so the glitch stated do it whilst being hit. Was quite specific. I haven't focused on that so far, so let's take a look. Really? Timing. I mean, that was no glitch. Again, no glitch. That did just knock me out of the thing I was doing, so go. Okay, so what happened that time is me hitting... wait, did I even use the right attack? Did I just use 5 instinctively? I don't remember. No, I didn't. I used 4. So what happened there was I hit the flame projectile side on, and hitting something even side on, as long as you hit it at all obliquely, as long as any part of you kind of is moving forwards into it. No. As long as any part of you is moving forwards, wait, what happens here? Okay, I do turn around. Good to know. So, I'm going to wait for them to get out of sync with their attacks, which they hopefully will be. Oh no, they're going to be back in sync now. Okay, there we are. 4. And that time I went the wrong way. I also think I might have gone hit by 2 attacks simultaneously there. That's me. Fire. Turn it around. 5. And it hitting me from behind didn't seem to do anything. Attempt that again. That would have been a perfect time to. Oh, I just expect something to hit me from behind. Okay. Did just slightly later. It's knocking me upwards, but again, well, I guess there's a really easy way of testing this. I just... Oh, there we are. That's a perfect demonstration of that, but yeah. To get hit by an attack. Room wall seems to be having some difficulties. But yeah, let's... Yeah, so that's knocking me up regardless. I don't think I'm getting much height aside from already being in the air. So I don't think I'm managing to reproduce this glitch, and I don't think this is, at the moment, any different to what would happen if I use spring shoes. Yeah. So there you saw, that was a... Waiting, do spring shoes just actually... No, they do target, okay. It's very confused. But if I do this, it'll... Okay, they are confusing. Confusing entities. Should be used to this. That's about the same effect. I'm not convinced I know what's being talked about. Maybe some of those I have seen the effect. But yeah, so far what it looks like is I have I've managed to get the Ronin attack to hit the projectile object. Which is cool. And honestly quite fun, but I don't see how that translates to getting launched upwards in quite the way described. So what I might do is I might ask MasterTemple or Gizmo, not Gizmo, Gaming Spirit, to send me a video to see what's going on. Because without that, I don't have a huge idea. But anyway, yeah, it's an interesting prospect, and it's nice that MasterTemple in particular, Gaming Spirit said that he'd seen it happen like once or something. MasterTemple very much, when I mentioned it, seemed to know what was going on with it, or seemed to have experience with it. I guess I could also try. Worth a try. Really thought I'd be able to do that without looking it up. I thought battle instances for a particular world began with this. Okay, yes, so 1401 must be Forbidden Valley Siege then, which is an old map. This was what I was trying to go for. It's nice having that not deal damage. Oh no, it's the physics there again. I was trying to walk forward and... Okay, so first off, let's try and... I can't even use 5 because I've changed world. And we're kicked out again. For anyone wondering why I have to close this down every time, it is a weird thing with the LCDR client, which nobody fully understands. Yeah, it changes your IP to localhost every time it gets shut down. I might have to send MasterTemple a message to see if he can teach me to do this. And from there, see if I can work out how it's happening, and from working out how it's happening, see if I can work out how I can use it. But potentially interesting Okay, that was bad. But, yeah. There could be some interesting potential here. So first off, we get moved upwards. Again, nothing dealing damage here. So maybe I will have to do this on DLU to test it out. Which will mean grinding a character up to rank 3. Which is not something I'm... Okay, that was interesting. See if I can repeat that, because that actually... I got hit and I kept moving upwards. Okay, what if the idea is you're facing a larger enemy, so it aims upwards. And like the closer you are, the higher up it's going to aim. If you get knocked out, if you get hit by a projectile, the issue is it didn't say hit by a projectile, it just said getting hit. Ooh, there we are. That was it. Okay. I got knocked straight upwards, which tells me one thing. Okay. Okay, so we know, we've got it on video, we know roughly how that's happened. It was just well-timed. Feels like something that should also be doable with sprint shoes, possibly. But yeah, the height I gained there was significantly more. than just a slight boost. So like that, those past couple of times, that hasn't been much more than just, hey, you're higher in the air, you get hit by something that knocks you upwards. But that time it was, okay. Still not too high, but that is the base glitch. Oops, I hit the wrong key. I wonder if I could pull off with spring shoes, but the timing would be different. Okay, so what it feels like is happening is the fire projectile's coming towards me, but I'm still rising. Yeah, I feel like the fire projectile doesn't have enough time. Okay, so this brings up a tiny bit of trivia from Encry a little while back, which is slope speed, the technique people use to go faster on slopes. You probably could work that out. Slope speed doesn't just apply to slopes. Or it doesn't just apply to going down slopes. You can if you're going fast enough, and you will have seen this whenever I use a jetpack. If you're going fast enough and you hit a slope, you'll fly upwards. I need to leave it later, I think. Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. I don't know what shape the projectiles are. I wouldn't expect them to be anything other than cubes or maybe spheres. That was interesting. Unrelated, but interesting, that I did not get knocked out of the spring shoes attack. I did get hit there, but it did not knock me out of spring shoes. But yeah, so my guess as to what is happening is you move forward very, very quickly. Now, the bottom of the player's character is not flat. We're basically a cone-shaped. We move forward, we move slightly downwards. I don't have a calculator on me. But yeah, we move very... could I work it out roughly? It's what? 1 part in 13 downwards. Okay, this calculator doesn't do trigonometry, but part in 13, I'm going to multiply that. Divide that by 2, divide that by pi, multiply that by 360. Yeah, okay, so we're moving downwards at about 4 degrees. There we are. What I wonder... I don't know what's knocking us out of this. Maybe it's having hit the thing. Again, looking backwards, give more information on this. But what I suspect is happening is we are moving at something that is maybe square, maybe cylindrical. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter because the projectile, because we've just moved upwards, the projectile is now beneath us. And that means that the sloped part of our character hits the projectile. Gravity is turned off at this point, which means slope speed converting forwards momentum into upwards momentum is completely feasible. And it will continue to be turned off for a little while. The issue is that by doing this, you get knocked out of the... The issue is that the fireball kind of mucks with stuff. I don't know exactly how. The fireball's also knocking you out of the attack, which it doesn't do with spring shoes, I don't think, but let me double check. Yeah, so spring shoes, as long as you're moving upwards, you are fine. You won't get knocked out of the attack. With Ronin Rush, you do. Wonder if it has anything to do with being knocked out of the attack. It feels like it shouldn't. But maybe. The upwards motion or I don't know if it still does feel to me, but it certainly, when I got it... I don't know. I don't know if it's long enough to see if we are acting under gravity. Try and think what else could cause us to move upwards. Nothing much is springing to mind. Anyway, I'm going to have a think about this. But yes, I've been Ninja Warlog. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a strange one. It's one of the rare times. It's not me spending ages trying to discover a bug and someone brings an interesting one, which is fun. I don't know how this one works. Spring shoes, I feel more or less I've worked out how they work. Like, not perfectly, but I've got a pretty good idea. Okay, can I try and be a pro gamer? No, I cannot. Kind of hard. Ah well. Anyway, yes. Ninja value. Spent on Uchu, and yeah, credit to Gaming Spirit and MasterTemple for pointing out these bugs. Very helpful. And yeah, I'll see you around. Bye.